Good morning, guys. Welcome to Garden on a Hill, where we talk about easy home gardening. My name is Vin, and today we will talk about, there's cows around me, we'll talk about starting seed potatoes. This is part 1 of 3 for this potato series. If you're like me, you're a gardener at home in an urban, suburban area, and you want to start your seed potatoes, this will be the first part of the 3-part video. I'm actually here in the farm today as part of my growing potato series because that's going to be the second part, where I'm going to get some hay, leftover hay and decomposed manure from the farm animals for the growing of my potatoes. But this video today will be about seed starting. So all about seed starting. Let's go ahead and talk about that. So this is my potato cheat sheet, and it will be very helpful for you after this video. Feel free to take a screen capture. All right, let's move on. So here we are in my kitchen to prepare the seed potatoes. One thing you need to know about seed potatoes is it is a cool season. In general, potatoes is a cool season crop. So it's February here in Zone 7B, and it's about time to plant them. So if you're thinking about planting these seed potatoes in the summer, it may be the wrong time for you. So in Zone 7B, February or March planting will result to a June or July harvest. So these are the seed potatoes that I have. It's 3 varieties. We'll talk about the varieties later. But seed potatoes are actually not seeds, just so you know. They are actual tubers that are identical from their parents. So basically it's another potato. And with seed potatoes, you can start with either these that have already been bought as a seed potato from your local nursery. Your big box store should have them. Or you can also start by budding or chitting your own organic grocery bought potatoes. So what would be the 2 biggest differences? For seed potatoes that have actually been bought as seed potatoes, they typically are already budded and chitted, and you have a more success rate for this kind of seed. I actually did try to use grocery bought organic potatoes, and I have succeeded using that, but this year I wasn't as successful. I'll show you a picture of what happened. The second method, where you basically buy your own potatoes and you chit them, there is a chance that sometimes there's one bad potato in the entire packet, and what happens is that one bad potato will affect all the other potatoes, and that's true to the seedlings as well, the store-bought potatoes. But typically when you buy these, they're already pretty good. So that's what happened on mine. So as you can see on this photo, it started to bubble and it started to decompose. So that's one takeaway. You can be successful on budding or chitting your own store-bought organic potatoes, because I have done that as well, and people have done that. There's just less chance of success. In my case, if you do that, say I need to plant February, you need to bud or chit those potatoes 4 to 6 weeks before February. So just keep in mind, if you need to do that, if your planting time is February, you need to bud it by January or at the end of December. Okay, so those are the 2 different things that you can get seed potatoes from. The second one would be the variety. So these are 3 different varieties. This is a Yukon Gold. This is a blue Adirondack. And this is a Red Norland. So how do I come up with variety? Besides the taste, you want to make sure that when you grow your own potatoes, that these potatoes grow well in your area. So I do know for a fact that Yukon Gold and Red Norland would do well here in Georgia, based on the local extension, which is the University of Georgia extension. It would be fine. I'm not quite sure about the blue Adirondack, but I want to try it since I see it everywhere in the nurseries. So I would think it would succeed. The other thing is that our extension does note that for our area, we should grow thin-skinned potatoes, which basically these 3 have very thin skins. When I say thin skin, it would be the actual skin that you peel off. I would note the russet potatoes that are good for grilling, baking, those really don't go well for our area, just based on experience and literature. Thick-skinned potatoes are not good for this area, but it may work for your area. So that's how I chose my variety. So how do I prepare these seeds? Besides budding and chitting them, so these have already been budding, and of course they're chitting and they're getting up there. So the buds are here, and I think these are called the chits. So now there's a way for me to actually make more out of one seed. So let me just show you. Let me get this one first. So you can actually subdivide a potato so you'll have more. I have a couple of eyes coming out here, 3 eyes coming here. I have 1, 2, 3 coming out here, so I can actually split this into 2. So now I have 2 potato seeds that I can plant. 1 here and 1 here. Of course, this is more advanced, it's coming out, but I know there's going to be eyes here because I can already see them. So that's how you kind of do it. So you'll have more potato seeds, and then after doing this, you want to make sure, this is the Yukon Gold, it's a pretty cut cross section. After you do this, you want to make sure you callus it before you start planting. So what I mean by callus is you set this aside in a dry, warm place, as so, where the cut face is exposed, and you just let it dry. I have a sample here. This one is a Red Norland I cut earlier. You can see this has callus. This will happen in 2 to 3 days. It's pretty quick. We want to make sure we do this just so it heals. So by the time you plant it, it has less chance to rot, and also for your seed to succeed. So that's with the Yukon Gold. I'm gonna go ahead and cut. Same thing here with the blue Adirondack. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Cut it right here. Look how beautiful that is. And then this is the Red Norland. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. This one's a little tricky. 3. Okay. So now I'll set this aside for it to dry in my seed rack, and then after they heal, you will be ready to plant them. So I'm ready to bring these seeds outside. Remember, it's always important to pay attention to the site information and soil information. Potatoes require full sun. My backyard has a lot of shade, so I'm actually growing this in the front yard in grow bags so I can find spots where there's full sun. And also, it's always fun to see them being harvested in grow bags. Remember that the soil temperature has to be at least 40 Fahrenheit. That's the ideal start where you can plant the seeds. If it's above that, it can't be more than 69 degrees Fahrenheit, because that's where also the high temperature where potatoes will start to not produce or germinate. Typically here in Georgia, that's why we plant it in February, because that's the soil temperature that it prefers, and then June or July is our harvest. Remember, soil quality is also important. Potatoes like loamy, loose, and heavy organic supplied soil. Georgia has a lot of clay, unfortunately, so in this case the grow bags are actually helping me because I can give the proper soil for these potatoes. Potatoes also require slightly acidic or prefer slightly acidic soils of 4.8 to 6.5 pH. So I do add a little clay in there. That's kind of a loose clay in the mix because we do have acidic soil here. Pretty much that is it for site selection and soil selection with seed potatoes.
We're going to talk about planting these seed potatoes on the next episode. So I hope you hang out and subscribe, hit that like button, hit that bell button so you get notified on our next episode, Growing Potatoes.